Well, all right. Hello, everyone, and now welcome to a game between Fly versus LillD DC. This game taking place here on Concealed Hill. LillD DC spawning as the red Night Elf player over here on the bottom left-hand side of the map. Meanwhile, over here on the top right, we have Fly spawning as the blue Orc. Orc versus Night Elf in this 1v1 matchup, and well, we'll get underway and see what the strategies will be. Looks like it is going to be an Altar of Storms, Orc Burrow, followed by Barracks opening. Nothing too big of a surprise. Meanwhile, coming in from the other side, what is it perhaps going to be? Still do not know. Still trying to take a look at everything that's going on here. There is an Ancient of War, Altar of Elders, and well, the strategies are already getting underway. If you're tuning in for the first time, thank you for tuning in. Consider hitting the like, follow, subscribe button, whatever, well, platform you may be watching, since I will be uploading to YouTube. Thank you for stopping by and saying hi. And if you have something nice to say, well, there are comments sections below and off to the side. If you don't have anything nice to say, well, it is the internet that's never stopped people from saying anything anyways. It is going to be a Keeper of the Grove coming in from LillD DC. Archers also being trained up. Meanwhile, we are looking at a Blade Master coming out from Fly. Timing shows that there should be a Grunt being trained here. Gonna get into 20/20 supply in just a moment, and then start, well, perhaps trying the tech to tier 3. What is else going to be following up here? Voodoo Lounge now being established. And yeah, I need to stop watching that Twitch viewer count. It goes up to 10, 5, and then drops back down to 1. So people not really liking play-by-play casting, or perhaps expecting something else. I talk too much. Well, this is a play-by-play cast. Don't know quite what else to expect for you, as we're going to see some Ents now joining on the fight. Beautiful summoning of those Ents there, making sure not to get the entangle onto those Ents, instead onto that Archer. I don't know if that was deliberate or not, but nicely done. Ancient of War now going to be backing off. Meanwhile, Blade Master clears out the Ogre Warrior, picks up the item, and will be selling the Scroll of Town Portal, picking up double healing salves, maybe a Boots of Speed. Scroll of Speed. You can't pick up Boots of Speed over there from that shop. Now, as the Archers and Ents are clearing out these easy creep camps, this is going to enable the Keeper of the Grove to get to level 2. Level 2 on a Keeper of the Grove is extremely dangerous because of, well, Grunts. Grunts are very, very high priority targets, and, well, all it takes is an Archer or two and these Ents to try and shut down a Grunt there. You saw the Grunt quickly run by and say, you know what, I want nothing to do with that. Blade Master picking up a Circlet of Nobility, now going to be fighting his way out of these Murlocs as well. Shouldn't be that big of a problem, but he is stealing creeps from his opponent. That is going to end up, what is going to end up happening here? Oh, are we going to see an engagement? No. Blade Master able to use the healing salve in time, and that is critical. Fly may perhaps try and let that healing salve heal up a little bit more before breaking Windwalk and then trying to apply some damage. Blade Master still wandering around here. Let's take a look. Is it going to perhaps try and buy anything of importance? Buys the Dust of Appearance away from his opponent, and now the Keeper of the Grove has absorbed quite a bit of damage here. More damage being absorbed. Meanwhile, what are the Grunts doing? And all of these units, perhaps they will try and clear out the remaining creep camps here, as Archers all of a sudden line up and make a pin cushion out of that Blade Master. We are teching to tier 2, 3/4 of the way there. Meanwhile, Tree of Ages also about 2/3 of the way. We should be looking at a Shadow Hunter as that second hero, as the Shadow Hunter adds a lot of longevity to that Blade Master. Meanwhile, Keeper of the Grove, are we going to be looking at perhaps a Tavern hero in that Goblin Alchemist? How's it going? I'm doing fairly well, just casting some games, as the Blade Master now turns around and going after the Archer here. All right, you're going to see some damage. Blade Master quickly does a Windwalk right there, finishes off the Archer with a knife in the back. Now, using an Entangle onto a hero, not necessarily the best use, as the Entangle doesn't last nearly as long. On top of that, well, the amount of damage is proportionate to how long the Entangle lasts. You can take a look. Archers purposely making their way over here. Ancient of War also uprooting, as the Blade Master now just gonna walk back away. he's taking and using all of this time teching to tier 2. His Blade Master is behind on experience as we are now going into, well, we guessed it, a Goblin Alchemist, most likely with Acid Bomb for Focus Fire. Keeper of the Grove quickly getting in some damage. There's an Acid Bomb right there. He's going to try and run away, but all of that additional damage right there as the Blade Master finishes off that Archer. Nicely done. The Keeper of the Grove got actually a bit ahead of himself and unable to save that unit there as the archers are now pelting back the other way. 2 archers currently down. Grunts were able to get into the corners of the map and continue to heal. Concealed Hill, however, a very good map for Orc, as Orc is generally able to, well, try to heal up at those fountains of health in the corners of the map. Blade Master does have Dust of Appearance. Archer currently just hiding right there. There's the Dust of Appearance. Archer will end up getting taken down, but the Blade Master now rather far from home. Let's take a look at this. Are we going to perhaps see more engagement here? We are looking at the Tauren Totem already training up Spirit Walkers. Shadowhunter sitting at level 1 as the Blade Master now coming back to perhaps offer some assistance. Blade Master getting some damage onto that Keeper of the Grove. Keeper of the Grove going to take a number of hits, but really not altogether that concerned. 82-point critical strike as the Blade Master continues to try and take down that one Alchemist. All right, you see another entangle onto that Blade Master. Really not altogether that useful, as we're going to see a 4-unit surround perhaps on the Goblin Alchemist. Alchemist gets a dying Acid Bomb, but the damage has been done. During this opportunity, he's won that little early skirmish. Fly now purposely pulling back in a try and engage with this Ogre Lord and trap the Ogre Lord in a spot right... Oh, what? Yes, traps the Ogre Lord in a spot right there. Keeper of the Grove now gonna perhaps come off and engage as well. Shockwave now hitting through. Let's take a look at what's going to be happening. Forestral Shadow Priest, more units going to get in there as the Keeper of the Grove unable to get that little bit of damage in. All right, what's happening here? A Scroll of Speed use. Once again, Keeper of the Grove is now getting body blocked also by the Ogre Magi, forced to use a Scroll of Talon Portal. LillD DC not playing that well right now. Fly's additional experience and just aggressiveness really taking hold as the Blade Master going after this Rock Golem creep camp. 102 critical strike, the bonus damage from those claws of attack, really adding in some extra damage as well. Meanwhile, Blade Master gonna go after this Rock Golem creep camp. It looks as though the Shadow Hunter will be able to get to level 2, and with that, well, Healing Wave should be on the table. All Fly really needs now is to get level 3 on that Blade Master and then get some Clarity Potions on that Shadow Hunter for extra healing. Back down across here, Goblin Alchemist is currently out on the battlefield as LillD DC actually going for Druids of the Talon. Druids of the Talon with Cyclone. This is a strategy that, well, Remind had to remind us about that it was once very, very popular and the go-to strategy. Is this going to be the same case as things move forward? I heard with reports the game will get frequently patched. Do you expect any meta changes in the near future? Well, first of all, there has to be a well-established meta for actual meta changes to really take hold. It really feels like no one knows where the meta is going to be landing. Blade Master down to 51 hit points, could be in a little bit of trouble, trying to back away, down to 55, and now healing over here at the Fountain of Health. And it takes a little bit of time for the players to really feel out the meta and know what is happening. It took a little bit of time before players really knew how to counter Keeper of the Grove with mass archers, and that's something that you really have to be careful of as a game balance designer. Are you just going to like constantly have almost knee-jerk reactions, or are you going to have a large amount of time testing? If you do that though, well, the community may all of a sudden be up in arms and say, how come they're not responding quickly enough? What's going on? And they start to yell even louder. And then by doing so, by yelling even louder, when the patch that has been worked on for, say, 4 or 5 weeks finally gets released, it almost reinforces the community's idea that yelling and screaming and having a tantrum actually gets things done, which is a very, very poor cycle. It's not like these patches are done simply overnight. and a lot of thought should go into them, or normally does go into them. So let's hope that that will be the case, as Raiders are now looking to engage here. Cyclone quickly picking up some units. Spirit Walkers are currently out onto the field here. We are looking perhaps at a very large amount of disenchant. Goblin Tinker is going to get the Moonwell juice out. No, doesn't get the Moonwell juice out first. A little bit of a strange situation there, as more and more Moonwells are going to get taken out. Cyclone picked up the Blade Master. As we're taking a look, Cyclone now picking up a Grunt. And this forces an engagement for the Orc, unfortunately, as he needs to wait for these units to land back down. Every time one of these units land, it essentially just gives additional experience back to the opponent, just waiting for that Cyclone to come to an end. And down he comes. Well, you're not in Kansas anymore, Dorothy, as that Grunt gets taken out. Repairing all underway. Let's take a look. Healing Spray also being used. Goblin Tinker could have been full on mana if it just drank from that Moonwell. Back off to the north here. Fly taking this opportunity to clear out the Ogre Magi creep camp here. And right now he's not quite sure what to do, it feels like. Shadowhunter did get a Tome of Intelligence right there. A little bit more mana once again. Also Vampiric Aura, very helpful for that Blade Master as well. Here we go again. We could have some more Cyclones, and that could be a problem. All right, there goes one disenchant. There goes two more. Another quick disenchant again, as we're trying to just time all of these right here. Spirit Walkers, constant disenchants causing problems. There you go. There's two more. Another disenchant coming back the other way as the units are going to try and engage. Here you are trying to go up into a corner. There are creeps in the backside. Cyclone picking up units. Druids of the Talon focusing down at units as well, and this could really start to eat at a lot of these units as the Spirit Walker quickly disenchants himself again. Wow, that Spirit Walker Spirit Link gets saved only to get a giant socket wrench hit in the back of the head. More engaging still. Units are trying to head back. 49 supply compared to 49. Meanwhile, Blade Master is still out of this fight. Yeah, that is true, but also you got to consider that this particular game is, well, brand new, and since they've opened up the can of worms of doing patches, people are going to expect patches until the game finds a stable position once more. It really feels like all of the races, except for Undead, got a lot stronger in their ranged units, hence the larger number of riflemen that you're seeing and things of that nature. All right, mass disenchant constantly being cast by all of these Spirit Walkers here. Blade Master also, when walking his way through, we have fortified armor on these Orc burrows, which is incredibly important, as the Druids of the Talon are just coming around, and really, until these Druids of the Talon run out of mana, things are going to be rather strange. All right, Blade Master unable to perhaps Windwalk push that Tauren Chieftain out, as the Tauren Chieftain falls at level 1. Clockwork Goblins still here, putting a little bit of pressure back once more. Blade Master wanting to finish off that Druid of the Talon, unable to do so. Raiders have now made their way back over, and we're going to be looking at a big, well, what do I call this? A big a rush onto the Moonwells. And if you can take out semi-full Moonwells at this point, LillD DC is going to be in trouble. Squirrel of Town Portal making its way back over. Blade Master unable to finish off a unit there, as all the units now pull back. All right, handful of Spirit Walkers and Raiders are in trouble. Squirrel of Town Portal should be able to take them away, though. And there they go. Blade Master, lying in the shadows, perhaps wanting to take down this Druid of the Talon, could do exactly that, but it doesn't have enough mana to Windwalk again. With that said, another Cyclone could just, well, finish it off. We see an expansion coming in from LillD DC, as we're sitting at, well, Pillage. Now, Fly could be doing a number of hit-and-run tactics with these Raiders, taking out the Moonwells, taking out the life of or the life regeneration properties of the Night Elf army, and also getting gold while doing so. If he's able to trade Ancients and all of these Moonwells, as we're now transitioning into Chimeras. All right, this is a strange spot. Also, the positioning on these Chimera roosts are, well, rather in an unorthodox spot. I believe you can still walk through there, but this is going to be a bit well unheard of. Now let's take a look at this. We're looking at 49 over 50 supply. We are getting up the expansion though, so there's going to be plenty of gold, and this may just completely catch Fly off guard. If you're able to use a surprise tactic and that surprise tactic reaches critical mass, well, things can go from bad to worse very, very quickly. Let's take a look at this. Raiders now making their way over. It's going to spot all of these Chimera Roosts. Ancients of War now making their way over. Druids of the Talon are across over here as well. Blade Master going to try and engage, as you're going to see all the units now head back. Let's take a look. Are we perhaps going to be going into Patrol Bat Riders? That is the next big question, as well. The Keeper of the Grove Illusions are still doing quite a bit of scouting. Blade Master wandering around. He must suspect that there is an expansion up right now. No real way to go for double Chimeras unless you in fact have unless you in fact have an additional gold mine. We are looking at 58 over 70 supply. Now additional moonwells should still be added to try and, well, get into that 80 supply range. Right now in low upkeep, hell does not help. Only having a 9 supply advantage while losing a good amount of your economy due to taxes. Ancients of War also going to be transitioning across, as well as a pocket Great Hall being set down by Fly in response to this Tree of Life.
We're under attack.
As the Tauren Chieftain clears out the top right-hand side of the map, perhaps looking to get to level 3. Shadow Hunter is already at 4, and the Blade Master is at 4. Taking a look at the Night Elf side, we are looking at 3-3-1. That Goblin Tinker still rather weak, as the Chimeras will be here ready to go. All right, Chimeras on the move now. Two Chimeras will be here and ready to go, with a third one being trained and a fourth one not too far behind. 68 over 70 supply. More Moonwells should be added here. Not quite sure why we're not. Oh, nope. We are watching them being trained up here and ready to go, as the Chimeras are going to be able to deal a large amount of damage in the upcoming fights. Let's take a look at this. Raiders now trying to escape back. Let's take a look at what's happening here. Orc Burrows and expansion is already well saturated from that tiny great, or that pocket Great Hall. All right, Blade Master entangled, wind walking away, dust of appearance. Blade Master going to try and get away there. Are we going to perhaps see a Cyclone pick him up? No, we are not. The Blade Master able to head back. Meanwhile, Ents are off to the north. They have scouted out the expansion here, as the Spirit Walkers are going to have a very bad time. Spirit Walkers cannot go, or should not go, into the ethereal form to try to hide from damage, as the majority of damage from the Night Elf army is currently magic. Druids of the Talon and Chimeras in the air. Lots of damage to be had. All right, there's a Cyclone. There's a Disenchant. Cyclone once again, as damage is going to start to add up. Raiders are going to try to heal up at a fountain. Chimera, what are they going to do? We could be looking at a couple of ensnares. No, Raiders are just trying to head back here. Are we perhaps going to finish off at least one? No, the Troll Witch Doctor able to retreat back. Let's take a look at that. I don't believe that actually does damage to him. Nope, does not do any damage at all. All right, the Witch Doctors with plenty of wards all over the place, and we are also, well, they also have mastery training. We could be looking at perhaps even stasis traps or healing wards, giving Orc a significant advantage for any long static fight. All right, let's take a look at this. Ent's going to be joining in. Cyclone. Well, there goes Chimeras, easily focusing units down right there, trying to take them down. Meanwhile, in the snares, now, well, removing the air ability of all of these Night Elf Chimeras. All right, Chimera looks like it will get taken down, able to head back away. Blade Master, however, with an Orb of Lightning, able to engage against the air. 71 supply compared to 63. Healing Wave coming across, but the Stomp stopping that healing spray. Druids of the Talon trying to head back. Let's take a look at this. More Cyclone, more damage coming across through. 76 supply compared to 61. Chimeras having big damage across multiple units. Raiders getting taken out, as, wow, one Spirit Walker down to 2 hit points. 75 supply compared to 58. Wisp all over the place. Let's take a look at this. More units are going to get trained back up. 2 Chimeras are here ready to go again. And who is going to be able to replenish their forces faster? the Night Elf army. Level 4 on the Keeper of the Grove. Level 2 on the Tinker. And I don't know. Well, there's the Alchemist sitting at level 3 with a Sobi Mask and also a Potion of Greater Mana. We're heading back over here to the Fountain of Health, getting a little bit more life as well, as we should be transitioning over to an engagement shortly. Druids of the Talon will be here, ready to go. One Chimera. Well, no, multiple Chimeras are still alive. 5 Chimeras in the air. Chimeras now having the siege damage attack as well. Can take down this this Great Hall very quick. Can a snared Chimera get eaten by a Kodo? I had always thought so, but someone said no, and well, I haven't taken the time to actually test it out. All right, making its way back down. Ent able to back away. There are a whole bunch of Serpent Wards. Oh, this one Great Hall going to get taken out in pretty much record time. Let's take a look at this. Down to 800, 700, 600. Units are going to try to head back every which way. Chimeras, so many of them. This is even without any sort of weapon upgrades, as the units will get taken out here. All right, let's take a look. Blade Master going to go after this, this Tree of Life as well. We are looking at fortified armor upgrades. No rooting here at all. Scroll of Town Portal going to go ahead and land. Stasis traps are down. This could be huge. Stasis traps need to get stopped. If they are not stopped, the damage, well, all of these units will be stunned for quite some time. Shadow Hunter currently in trouble. A Healing Wave, Cyclone picking up units. 2 Stasis traps are down. Shadow Hunter able to back away. Stasis traps, well, hitting some of those units there as the Wisp are now coming over for mass detonation. Chimeras going after those Troll Witch Doctors. Stasis traps still being thrown down here. Chimeras not very good versus these Headhunters, but it could just be a sheer size of army. 61 supply compared to 67. Fly has a slight advantage. Will he be able to hold on to this as LillDC's Chimeras are slowly getting taken out one at a time? And with that, Fly gets the win. Chimeras, even with that massive number, unable to do enough damage. Spirit Link with Scrolls of Healing mitigating much of the damage that would normally be associated with Focus Fire. On top of that, Mass Headhunter, something that you would rarely ever see prior to patch 1.31, was already on the table and good enough to counter those Chimeras. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.